Get breaking news from 89 WLS from their newsroom, like I'm not part of it. That's how that goes. From the newsroom, direct to your mobile device. Yeah. It's the Townsend Financial WLS text line. Text breaking, that's a word, breaking to 68683, standard text messaging rate to fly. For details, click on the station tab at WLSAM.com. Mike Monaco in for Richard Roper today.
It'd be inappropriate to say, check me out. It's better to say them.
Yes, them. Right. Well, I'm not texting anything about this. It's the award. By the way, congratulations, WLS has just won the AP award for best
way to go
newscast in Chicago.
There you go.
How about that?
Very good. Way to go, Ryan.
That's and congratulations to Ryan and everybody back there. And they don't let me anywhere near that. Al Madrigal is with us. You know him, you love him. I don't know, from so much now.
That's a pretty specific award, by the way, though. I mean,
the AP award.
Yeah, just for best newscast in Chicago. I mean, how many up against?
Wait a minute.
That's good competition.
Is it? It's solid competition?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. There's probably 20 solid news operations here.
Who cares? Maybe one. All right.
Right,
we don't
exactly.
care.
Right, best of one. Listen,
we don't care.
I once won for best afternoon radio talk shows in Chicago on AM between 880 and 900 on the dial. And I was like,
you were thrilled.
I was just doing the victory dance.
Exactly.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, we won.
Yeah.
I'm a winner.
So, well, by the way, Al is here. I just, I like to get the plug out of the way.
He's here in person.
It's good.
He's actually here.
Yes, he's actually sitting right here with us. Very famous man now. He's got a couple of nights at the Up Comedy Club, which is it's right on North and Wells, which is basically the
comedy hub.
It is the comedy hub. It is the fertile delta of comedy. And maybe in America, would you not? Would you disagree with that?
No, I think that Chicago is one of the top comedy cities. Like there's the AAA teams, and Chicago's the top one of those. And then you go to New York or the bigs, New York or LA from there.
Right. Yeah. I would agree with that. And then people come back and they forget. They were like once they've made it big on a series or they got into Saturday Night Live, they come back and go, was I ever here? Until they get fired from one of those things, and then they come back and they're like,
back.
I was here, man. This is where my start was. It was so great.
I just want to return to my roots. And, when I got my start here, we were just doing it for fun. I want to get back to that.
Exactly.
Is that what they say?
That's exactly what they say. All right. So let's talk about, first of all, congratulations, About a Boy. Right, it has been
About a Boy is great. It's NBC's number one comedy. I'm on NBC's number one comedy, which is it's probably a low bar going in to NBC, but it really was. It's part of a big rebuilding. But Bob Greenblatt, they really did it. It's very exciting what they did over there, and so they have the Blacklist.
Yep.
Right. That's a very popular show.
Very popular.
And I can tell if you're being sarcastic.
I am. No, that's very.
Blacklist is a very honorable man.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a popular show. And then you have that Sunday Night Football.
That's big.
That's a huge thing.
The people like that. And they're going to get they're getting the Thursday night. Who got the Thursday?
They're getting more football.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get more. Everyone's trying to get more football because that's the only thing people really watch on TV. That's where you get the big numbers. And then on Tuesday night, we follow The Voice. Now we're going to go to 9:30, but we got 22 episodes picked up, which is almost impossible. I've been on 8 network TV pilots, 4 to get picked up, and this is the first one that's made it to season 2.
You've killed more pilots than Asiana Flight Crew.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You always have to update that joke for whatever the most recent plane crash was. Yeah. It's very exciting when that happens, though, right? Do you know?
It's like a lottery win for people to get the pickup.
And do you when you catch something like that? I mean, but you were on the Daily Show, which of course is a gigantic hit, right?
That's a big show.
That's a big show.
That's a Saturday Night Live launching pad type of show where you look at Ed Helms, Steve Carell, Colbert, Rob Riggle, Nate Cordry, Rob Cordry, the Cordrys. And you look at all the people coming out of that, it's a big deal.
So when you're on that, you're going to be something.
Yeah. If you're not, you did something horribly wrong.
You screwed it up.
Yeah, you screwed it up.
But isn't that the move from New York to L.A., though? Isn't that where that it's on that 5.5 hour, 6 hour flight where all hell can break, where your mind starts to rush with, why am I going out here? Everything was going well in New York. You just spent a few more years there.
No, I left my family in Los Angeles. So I have an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old. I told them, hey, Daddy's got a gig in New York. I'm going to be commuting, so I'm going to leave. Because I wasn't going to drag everybody with me.
Was that well received by them or not well received? Okay.
My son put his hand on my shoulder at 9 years old and said, Dad, I don't care about the money. I just want you to be around all the time. And looked at me, and I was like, I'll buy you an iPad, too. And he goes, all right, watch out for the hobos. Don't take the subway at night.
iPad 2 was it.
Yeah, totally.
That's good.
You mean the lighter one with the better battery life?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I don't want the mini, though. Too small.
Yeah.
I can't play Candy Crush. So so now you're back, obviously, doing About a Boy Down in Los Angeles.
And then I'm traveling all over doing stand-up comedy. That's the thing. I started in San Francisco, got into it to do stand-up. Then I went to Montreal just for Laughs Comedy Festival, which is this, NBA draft for young comedians to go to a New Faces thing. And that's where all the TV networks circle, and hopefully I got cast in a nationwide search for a young Latino comedian. And then have been working in TV ever since, but I wanted to get into stand-up. The TV stuff this is amazing. It pays well, and I got to leave my family business. I was working for my parents, firing people.
What business was that?
It's called a professional employment organization, and so we hire people so you don't have to. So technically, we'd employ every single person at this radio station, and
they'd enjoy that, by the way.
So we take all of the headaches over from other businesses. So I fired Russian nurses that were trying to grab my documentation. I broke up fistfights. I taught a group of Hmongs how to go to the bathroom. I got chased. I hopped fences.
Hey, I'm sorry. I have to stop you, Al, on the Hmongs who could not go to the bathroom. Were they incapable? They'd never done this before? Because that seems bad for your kidneys.
They never used toilets. Everybody was used to hole.
Wow.
And so I had these guys standing on the toilet seat. I didn't know what to expect. I had the owner of the place go, Al, I need you down here. And that's always bad.
Wasn't that a George Clooney movie? The
Hmong thing?
No, not the Hmong thing.
George Clooney plays a Hmong.
No, where he went around the country firing people.
Yeah,
Up in the air.
Up in the Air.
Up in the air. Yeah.
So I did that. When I watched that movie with my wife in the theater, she patted me on the knee because of all the travel I do for stand-up comedy. It's like, I know. This is just for you. And Nuala, I know I've fired over 1,000 people.
It's
horrible. What a lovely.
There was just a story this week about the impact that has on people's emotions.
My emotions, firing people. The guy who's actually pulling the trigger.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about how
I got as cold as ice. I was getting to be a robot about it. I really was. I was void of all emotion. I was mob hitman. I would go in and just take care. You know why? Because they deserved it. You know what you're doing out there.
Because the Hmong was going on the people's lawn?
Well,
what's going on?
Well, the Hmongs was a whole... See, I did all the discipline as well. And, two Samoan guys get in a fist fight, and I have to show up and deal with it.
Al, I'm sure you're in great shape, but two Samoans get into a fist fight. But actually, Godzilla doesn't want to get between two Samoans in a fist fight,
But I come in and go, fellas, come on. What are we doing here? Let's go. Let's just talk about this. For some reason, I always, and this is why my parents were devastated when I left the family business and fought me getting into comedy, is because I was good at it. I no one argued with me. If you ever saw the Cheers where Norm had to fire people? It's a really good episode. You saw it? So he would cry. He would get upset. And I legitimately was, and I started faking this after a while, and as he did in the show, but I was sad. I gave them opportunities. I said, if you show up late again, this is a business. I'm going to have to let you go. Do not put me in that position, Carol. And then I'd show up, and she was late again. I go, Carol, what are you doing to me? I told you. Like that. And then I have your final check. I understand you have a ficus. Carry it to the car. And that's what's it. If you saw me at 4:30 on a Friday, it was horrible. But you're right. It did eat at me a little bit when I had to let a single mom go that just couldn't get a date.
Where are you going with this?
What? No, you
know what this is? This is exactly what I read about. No, Mike, this is what I read about in the story yesterday. Exactly yesterday. This came out about how it affects people's emotions. Heart disease. They have a higher rate of heart disease and all these other things. And now we're finding out that Al, despite the fact that Al Madrigal, comedy genius, believes that he's got this hardened heart and he's capable of being a mafia hitman.
That's why I got out to do stand-up comedy. That's how I end up here at the Up Comedy Club. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's what we want. And you're going to be funny.
You want to plug?
312.
Somebody up there pouring their heart out, pretending to be real?
312-662-4562. Back with Al right after this. Al Madrigal is with us. It's going to be the Up Comedy Club tonight for 2 shows, tomorrow night as well for 2 shows.
Very funny.
One of the best shows you'll ever see.
There you go. You got a guarantee. That sounds like a guarantee to me.
Best comedy show you'll see. No, I really do. I don't think this new hour I'm working on, I'm extremely proud of. I think it's the best stuff I've ever done. I'd love people to come out. I mean, and if people aren't, this is the Second City Space. Is that? Yeah.
It's a separate entrance in Second City, but it's right there.
It's associated.
Yes. Do not hold the fact that I used to fire people against me. Different person now.
And it's where Tony and Tina's wedding used to be. So you can imbue yourself with some of the energy of that.
Oh, I got that. I'm half Mexican, half Sicilian. I told my uncle Bob Tarantino where I used to work down at the Fisherman's Wharf in the Cannery in San Francisco, and I swear this is the quote. He goes, "Oh yeah, I used to control an alley right by there."
I used to control an alley.
What does that mean? I told my mom
boy.
that. She goes, "What does that mean? He controlled an alley? He's an idiot."
That was a union job.
Yeah. And then
Yikes.
We were also at my 8th grade graduation party, and he sees this big Yugoslavian guy, and he goes, "Look at the mitts on that Yugo. Oh, I know that guy. We got to get out of here." He goes, "I'll see you later, kid." Okay. Look at the mitts on that Yugo.
Oh boy!
So I've got that inside me, and little 5'5" Mexican Hulk coursing through my veins, and that's why it's like when it did come to those terminations, like when people deserved it, I felt nothing. Like when they didn't deserve it, I felt bad, and then in the audience when people talk, I feel a little crazy, but.
Man, I'll bet you are something. I'll bet you are something with talkers and hecklers and people getting away. Oh, don't go to the show to heckle.
No. It's way more nitpicky than that. Like the yawning, arms crossed. Like it's really a good time. Come out.
He is an assassin. He's right there from the.
He's really funny. It's going to be a very funny show.
Well, we don't have to tell you that. If you've seen the Daily Show or About a Boy or any of the rest of it, the fact is Al Madrigal he's quantifiably funny. You go see him tonight or tomorrow night, 2 shows per evening. Just $22. 312-662-4562 to reserve your seats or upcomedyclub.com. Who uses a phone anymore? Just use your phone to go to the web and do that. Al, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it.